Right, we got this big green candle above the EMA, touching the top of the V. Everything is. Why did I sell out? We sold out right here. And what ended up happening that day is AMD ended up shooting all the way up. Let me find it for you. That's it. I got caught in an earnings trap. It is what it is. I should have just on my gut instinct. You know what I'm saying? I had another example of how I had a plan and I didn't follow it. So what's up, YouTube? Back again with another video. Don't worry why I got the hoodie on. I feel like, I don't know, it's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy Monday. I feel like it's Tuesday. Maybe it's Wednesday. But if you've been following that TD Ameritrade challenge, I think we ended at like week 4 or week 5, something like that. We were trying to turn 100 into 1,000. That didn't exactly work. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much blew the account. It was at like, I don't know, $30 or something like that. So, abandoned that. New routine.
That shit is over. Original routine.
Yeah, so I went back, feel me, and my armor got pierced on that challenge, so I went back, repaired the armor, did some push-ups, came back way stronger, you feel me? Did a lot of reflection, learned a lot, created a new strategy, paper traded, did all of that. We came back to win, we came back to get our money in blood. Alright, so this time around, I deposited and I'm gonna just update you guys periodically as like things happen, but I deposited like $1,000 into my account, and this was last Wednesday, Tuesday, something like that. Man, I'm gonna go through some of the big trades that happened, the mistakes I made, why I made them, keep it 100 with y'all. Maybe you can learn from it. I've definitely learned from it, and yeah, we'll hop into it. First things first, last week was big. Like last week and this week is gonna be super big, but last week was huge, okay? Just a lot of news, as you guys know, if you've been following the market. All-time highs on the SPY, on the Dow, and the NASDAQ just keep running. Nvidia went crazy. And that's one of my plays, and we'll get into that too. Yeah, let's just hop into it. Let's just hop into it. So like I said, Nvidia went wild, like wild. I think it went up like, I don't know, 100. Let's look at the charts. I think Nvidia went up like, and yes, we're in PayPal. We'll get into that. Yes, we're in Disney. We'll get into that. But who's Nvidia? Let's look at Nvidia. All right. Let's look at Nvidia. How was Nvidia last week? Yeah, look at that. Big candles. Big candles. Big red candle. You know, we only had $1,000 to work with, you know? And I decided to play AMD as a sympathy play. Let me make this chart bigger for y'all. So last week, I hopped in some AMDs, a 131 call, which I am still mad about, bro. Still mad about. Hopped in some 131 calls, or one, as in one contract, 31 call for November 26th, or November 19th. Yeah, November 19th, right here. It was trading. So I bought in right here, right? 944 on November 3rd, right? I bought it for 378. Let's bring up the chart for that. Let's bring up the chart for that. November 3rd, right here. Let's bring up the 5-day. Alright, so this is what I'm using the VWAP and the 9 EMA, right? That's one of my trading strategies, which I'll go into in a whole nother video, but don't worry about that. I bought in right here, not a bad buying spot, as you can see. Ran through for the rest of the day. Pretty good. But but I was holding that. I was like, I'll hold that, and we ended up selling off later in the day. But I was like, I'll hold that because we have this trend line right here. I'll hop back out into the daily. And this trend line, AMD's been sticking to that trend. Oof, beautiful, beautiful on the trend line, right? And as you can see, it's also just been running. It's been running. But the next day, I sold out. Right, got this big green candle above the EMA, touching the top of the V. Everything is. Why did I sell out? We sold out right here. And what ended up happening that day is AMD ended up shooting all the way up. Let me find it for you. Shooting all the way up to 138. Alright, boom. If I sold out there, I would have had an extra $700 in profit. What? I would have doubled my account just like that. Let's just stick on AMD. So I was like, alright, gotta get my money back in blood. You feel me? I'm like, okay, Nvidia is still running, NASDAQ is still strong. You know, NASDAQ is still strong, and I'm going into a Friday, so I don't usually like to get into any like positions on a Friday. Yeah, the NASDAQ is still running. Nvidia is still strong. Nvidia is gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep looking at AMD as a sympathy. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see how AMD opens up on Monday, which was today. AMD opened up beautifully. I was looking for that 150 price target too. Perfect. Again, still holding that trend line. I might just keep double dipping on this. Still holding that trend line. But we gotta be careful. So today I hopped into AMD at 9:32, December 3rd, 150 calls, got it at 365, and I sold out for 835. I could have sold for up to $11. Right? And like I said, it's been holding this trend line beautifully. So honestly, we're gonna keep going until those technicals fail down. I sold out because I wanted to just secure some profits. Satisfied with what I had, I made over 100%. And I was like, you know what, I'm cool off this. If it keeps running, I can always come back. You feel me? And I only had one contract. I usually like to trade with multiple contracts, but our budget doesn't allow for that. You feel me? And I'm in other plays at that too. This is the last thing we're gonna talk about. Is PayPal. PayPal. So my money was tied up in a lot of things at the time. That's true, but somewhat not true. I didn't want to spend too much on PayPal. Right, but I know I wanted to play. I wanted to play since last week. And I'm like, okay, I don't have too much money. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna get a continuation play off PayPal, see where it goes, upside or downside. So PayPal was just getting shredded. It's been shredded since I think they dropped that news of allegedly they were gonna try to acquire Pinterest. But PayPal, the technicals were looking good to me at least. And it had a support at what, 229, 229.92, call it 230, and you also had this trend line. It's been on a very strong downtrend. I'm like, okay, it's approaching a squeeze. Something's gotta happen. They're also allegedly gonna announce their what's that word? Collaboration. I don't know. Either way, they're going to partner up with Amazon and start allowing Venmo to be accepted as a payment for Amazon purchases in February 2022 or Q1 of 2022. I'm like, okay, that's great news. Like, beautiful. Nice. We love that. The tentacles are looking good. It's a lot of meat on this bone. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fuel in the can, and there's also a lot of sparks that could blow up the can. So there's a gamble. So this is a gamble at the end of the day. This is earnings. You know what I'm saying? It can go one way or the other. In this case, it's looking like it went the other way. I was trying to have it go right, that jump went left. I was trying to have it go up, it went down. So that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, but PayPal just had a very, very, very weird chart in the after hours, especially, right? It shot up. I was looking to make sure it was maintained above that 230 level. I'm like, okay, if it stayed above that 230, where it go? No questions about it, right? It's been trying to break through that 230 all day. It's been trying to break through that 230 last week. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna go for this for sure. If it breaks above it, pre-earnings, right? And actually, I think it tested it. Yeah, it tested it. Tested it a few times throughout the day, I think. Yeah, it just kept failing. Yeah, tested it a few times throughout the day. It just kept failing. But either way, broke out in the after hours, and I'm like, oh yeah, at this point I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a green day tomorrow. We're gonna print some money, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. You know, I didn't really listen to the earnings call, but the only thing that it points to is the bad guidance they gave, saying that they expect or they don't expect a lot of revenue next quarter. Now, why would you say that, PayPal? It's a lot of that tomorrow morning, but I'm gonna wait to see how we open up. My contract expires the 26th. Again, we're gonna wait to see what happens tomorrow morning. We'll see if I roll that over. We'll see if I just cut my losses. Maybe I'll switch my position to some puts, short term. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see how the market opens up tomorrow. That's it. I got caught in the earnings trap. It is what it is. I should have just went with my gut instinct. You know what I'm saying? I had another example of how I had a plan and I didn't follow it. Just to recap, with AMD, I didn't really have a plan. And that's why I kind of just faltered. With PayPal, AMD the second time and everything, I had a plan. I didn't follow it with PayPal, but I followed with AMD and we saw the success. So, Disney, I had a plan. Ford, I had a plan. Peloton, I have a plan. We'll see how that goes. You feel me? So, create a plan, stick to it, and everything else will fall into place. Don't risk more than you're willing to lose, because even if I lost all, whatever it is, 340, 320, 360, I think, on PayPal, I'm fine. That's what I was willing to risk. I picked a contract and an expiration date that I was like, all right, if this goes completely kaputs, I'm good. Because I could have chose a lot better looking options, probably. But it would have been too expensive. So I had a criteria and I made sure that I was comfortable with it. And that's why I'm not stressing too much. All right, catch y'all later. Bye. November 4th, terrible day for me. I was so pissed. That day haunts me. I sold out at 9:35 on, I don't even know what I was thinking. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'll tell you what was happening and I'll tell you what I was thinking. Or what I thought I was thinking, because when I looked back at it, I'm like, what? Why would you even, like, what were you seeing? You feel me? So 9:35, right, we got this big